Hi, my name is Joe Ledbetter, and I'm an artist. Every project starts with a sketch, and it's definitely my favorite part of the process. Whether I am creating a toy, just a character, a painting, an illustration, for me it's the most fun, and I think for most artists, because it's a blank page. It's anything's possible. There's kind of no judgment. There's no mistakes. You just it's like brainstorming, and you're figuring out ideas. There's no limits, so that's the most fun part. And the deeper you get into a project, usually the more constrained you get, or the more set you are in the decisions you made. As long as I can remember, I've always been drawing. I was always the kid in the back of class, drawing all over the desk, getting in trouble. When I started to learn that people actually did drawings for cartoons, that was actually a real job. That was when I really wanted to be an artist and an animator. I don't know, I like to take it back to when I was in college. I played in a lot of punk rock bands, but I was way more into making the flyers for all the shows, honestly, than playing the shows. I moved down to LA. I just decided, I want to be a graphic artist. I want to just find any way possible to make a living drawing. I had friends at the time who were in the fashion industry, and they hooked me up with a job doing apparel graphics for t-shirts for kids. I kind of faked my way into and told them I could do all these things that I couldn't, as you do, and learned on the job, and I got pretty good at it. When I first started to draw the bunny character, I was doing a lot of knockoff t-shirts for an apparel company, and we were doing a lot of stuff that Paul Frank was doing at the time, which was cute characters. And so I was doing underground art shows in downtown LA at the time. I created my own characters to, put them in kind of violent, terrible situations as kind of like an outlet of what I wanted to do with the characters that I had to do at my day job. And it kind of took off, and I developed these characters more. I walked into a Kid Robot store in San Francisco, and I think it was 2003, and was introduced to whatever it's called, urban vinyl, designer toys, this whole kind of really cool toy movement that's really just based in art. And it totally blew my mind, and I knew I had to get involved. I didn't know how to do it, so I just kind of made my own prototype. And I'm not really much of a sculptor, but I sculpted this figure here as my character, Mr. Bunny, and hand painted him and put him in my art show, and invited a toy company to come and check it out. That's how I made my first toy, and the toy did really well. This is the final version here, released in 2005. Went on to make my Fire Cat toy. This is a teeter figure that I made. He only stands on one limb at a time. More recently, created my Slander the snake, and he actually has a little half-eaten critter inside too. And then most recently, I have my Terran Magnus figures. These guys come together, 2 Griffin figures. These are all kind of recurring characters in my work, and it's just really fun to transform my real 2-dimensional designs into a 3D form. This is my Creatures of Habit book. It's basically the last 5 years of my career, or maybe kind of the first 5 years. What more do you want than to have as an artist, to have your own book? Yeah, this is basically 80% of all the work that I did, all the paintings at least. There's no toys or sketches or anything else in here. Well, in the upcoming year, I have a big show coming up in LA at Corey Helford Gallery in Culver City in June. I'm working on a lot more new toys, miniseries figures, and I've just started work on a children's style book. It's just a really heavily illustrated book. And yeah, just kind of developing new projects, and having as much fun as possible, trying to travel and taking my work to different parts of the world. This is Joe Ledbetter. Thanks for hanging out. If you want to find out more about me, go to joeledbetter.com.